Hello everyone, I'm Liam O'Sullivan with Care Alliance Ireland, and we coordinate National Carers Week, which this week is taking place across Ireland in a virtual format. So we thought it would be good to have a conversation with Fiona O'Neill. Fiona is caring for her son, and she's also set up an initiative called Jobs for Family Carers. So Fiona, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So exactly as you said, hi everyone, first of all. Exactly as you said, I'm carer for my son. So my son Niall is nearly 15 now. He lives with an autoimmune disease, which actually attacks his joints and inflammation in the body. So he's been on medication and drugs and injections and infusions since he's about 5. So I'm his carer, and I've another little boy as well who's 10. So it's the three of us. And so like I said, I'm his carer. I used to actually work full time.
Okay.
So we used to work for a health insurance company, and when Niall's care came to the stage that I actually couldn't work full time anymore, I had to make a decision. And a lot of family carers sometimes have to make that decision of, can you continue with employment, maybe go part-time, job share. In my case, job sharing and part-time wasn't an option, so I had to make that decision of going from full-time employment to being carer full-time. So so that's the situation that I have at the moment.
And so tell us about the idea of Jobs for Family Carers Ireland. We know that some family carers are able to go out to the workplace and work for a certain number of hours. We know there's some criteria around eligibility for, say, for example, carers allowance. You can now work up to 18 and a half hours in any given week. So tell us about that.
So exactly as you said, it used to be 15 hours up until January, and then changed to 18 and a half hours for someone who's receiving care allowance. Now, from my perspective, it is fantastic to have the initiative where, yes, you can work 18 and a half hours a week, but there be no employment out there of up to 18 and a half hours.
Okay.
So it's great to say, yes, go out and find yourself a job, whether it be when your son is in school or whether you have home help in or whatever it may be, but there's no jobs out there to actually find.
Okay.
The way I came up with the idea was literally driving along in the car one day, and I heard on my local radio station a job being advertised for 15 hours. And in my own head, I went, oh my God, you never hear of 15 hours being advertised. So in my head, I was like, that's perfect for a family care. I was like, so I started looking to see if there were other jobs out there. And there's many Facebook groups that are out there, like Family Carers Ireland. I think DCA Warriors are another one. There's a lot of Facebook groups that are out there that help family carers. And I was sharing these job posts into these groups to let other people know. I said, here's a 14 and a half hour, here's a 12 hour, here's a 15 hour. And then realized, do you know what, instead of annoying people with all these posts, maybe I'll just put them all in one place. And that's where the Facebook page started from, is to have one central location for family carers to come to go through jobs that fit their criteria. So rather than having to, because I know myself, being a family carer is stressful enough, between trying to chase down doctors or get letters and everything that comes with it. Trying to look for a job is, that's brilliant. And trying to look for a job is hard enough as it is. So it's just to have it all in one place.
Okay.
So that at least
what I've done there, I just shared I put up your Twitter page there, Jobs for Family Carers Ireland. It does what it says in the tin, I guess, be a family carer in Ireland and have a part-time career. So let me scroll there. You have a nice working on a logo there. You actually have a website, I see. So you're there nearly a year now, so you've joined Twitter. Okay, so there's jobs there. I see today already you've posted a job for, what's that, for a support teacher, is it? Or
it is a teacher in Dublin.
Okay.
So I'd usually put about 2 or 3 jobs up per day. So there's actually jobs out there, but it's just taking the hardship of trying to find those jobs out of the hands of family care, that they know that there's just one place to go to find it.
And tell us, okay, and I'm just scrolling through, so a range of jobs: admin, cleaning, support teacher, and then you post other stuff pertinent to carers, I guess. Here I see
absolutely. Do you know, because again, a lot of people don't realize, people who don't have loved ones that are family carers, because everyone, I think, at this stage in Ireland has a connection with someone who is a family carer. They may not be a family carer themselves, but even if you know of a friend who is a family carer, to let them know. God, I saw this.
And I see you've a nice website there. Very good. It tells you a bit about your work, your background, some links to Susan's information, which is a pretty good resource. Very good. And oh, you have a Facebook page as well, 3,500 followers. That's pretty impressive. How did you get
Mhm.
that many followers so quickly?
Again, just telling people. So again,
Okay.
I suppose I would have contacts myself being a family carer.
Yeah.
So when I started telling other family carers what I was doing, the feedback even from them, I really didn't expect it to snowball as much, because family carers then started to message me directly saying,
Okay.
thank you, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed. Even people coming back to say, I got a job last week.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
the
Wow. Isn't that
feedback I
lovely?
get
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
them. And I wasn't, like I said, it was just out of pure convenience that I said, oh, look, I'll just put them all in one place,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it has snowballed from there to help so many people.
And tell us, I think you were saying you were involved in the Social Entrepreneurs Academy. Tell us how did you get involved in that, and what was that like?
Oh, that's it. Like I said, I actually didn't even realize I was a social entrepreneur
Yeah. Yeah.
until it was brought to my attention. But a social entrepreneur is someone who has started a business that will help a social problem or help solve a social challenge in the community. But it's through the social entrepreneurs or Social Enterprise Ireland that I've started to kind of put a structure to this,
Okay.
because this is purely me volunteering. I'm not paid to do this or anything at all. So as a mammy and a carer, I didn't have a path for this vision. To me, it was just a Facebook page, and I was just helping people. So that at least now through Social Entrepreneurs Ireland, to have some sort of a structure to it and a vision, and say, okay, do you know what? This can help so many more people and help in so many different ways.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
like I said, it's helping me find my next step.
Okay, and tell us about that, or tell us about some of the feedback you've got. You mentioned it. Is there only one or two bits of feedback that really kind of resonate with you and go, "Wow, I'm doing something valuable."
Yeah, even to be told by carers, I've gotten messages from carers that it's not just about the money. It
Yeah.
was just even to be out of the house, to meet new people, to learn something new, to learn new skills. So
Mhm.
some people think a job is just about the pay slip.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
a family carer, it's so much more. Like I said, there's a psychological part to having a job. Even if it is when there's the team night out and you all go out for a meal,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just to have that to look forward to as a family carer. It might take 2-3 weeks of planning to get there, but it's just something to look forward to. So having a job is not just always about the income. So to get messages from family carers, even to hear that,
That must be really
is quite
powerful.
emotional sometimes.
Someone said to me, "Work isn't just about the work," and I had to think about it. And going, "Yeah, they're right. It's the social interaction. I imagine the challenges, the distraction, maybe depending on the caring you're providing."
Yeah.
And tell us, I know within the kind of family care movement, we've been pushing strongly for the increase in the income or the hours that you could work. And I
Hmm.
think, I don't know if it started 5 or 10 hours, then we got up to 15, then we pushed for up to be higher, and eventually we got to 18 and a half. Do you think that's made a difference in terms of employers going, okay, this person can do at least 2 or maybe 3 days work? Does that make it more attractive now, I wonder?
It's still not known, and I
Okay.
think that's one of my missions as well with
Mhm.
jobs for family carers, is to bridge that gap between the employer and the family carer, because family carers know, 90% of them know of what they can do when it
Mhm.
comes to working, but companies don't know and businesses don't know that they have an audience out there that are willing to work maybe 15 or 16 hours. When you hear of a job being advertised and it's 39, 40 hours, even part-time sometimes it's 21,
Yes.
22, an employer doesn't realize, actually I can drop to 15 hours. And from their perspective, it helps from a financial side of things and a budget side of things,
Yeah.
that they don't
Yeah.
have as much of an overhead, and they have an audience of people who are willing to meet that 14, 15 hours if it may be. So it's educating employers and businesses and corporations as well, that they possibly could hire two family carers, having double the sets of skills
Yes.
for one person that they would be
On,
normally hiring.
on that point around skills, the skills that family carers have and bring to the table, as it were, it strikes me sometimes carers don't fully appreciate the skills they've learned to develop over the years, be it advocating for their parents, for their child with special needs, and being patient, researching a condition such that they're more knowledgeable than perhaps anyone else in the country on a particular rare condition. Do you think carers appreciate that, or do employers appreciate that, or is that an important thing, do you think?
Very much so. It's if someone is actually hired through a company, through an interview, and these are all things that are on a CV when it comes to research skills, patience, people skills, being able to negotiate. Being a family carer, you have to negotiate an awful lot. Sometimes it's with your own family members, and
Indeed.
sometimes it's with the
Yes.
HSC. So these are the skills that are on a CV that a lot of people are bringing when they graduate from college. And a family carer has these naturally in themselves, and I don't think they realize it. So like I said, again, one of my it could be step 5 or 6 when it comes to jobs for family carers, but someday to be able to launch a family carers academy, so that we could be able to, so carers can actually see, well, actually, do you know what, all these skills that I have, even skills possibly that they had to leave in their past because they've had to choose to be a family carer over something that they've qualified for, that they can transfer that. You can be a family carer and still have that career as well. So it's just for family carers to know that, and to empower them as well to be able to bring that to the forefront.
Okay, and tell me, obviously you're very driven, you're passionate, you're highly motivated. You got involved in this social entrepreneurs project. Was that what did you get from that? Was that ideas, or did you meet other people who were setting up these concepts, or?
Not so much for family carers. So again,
Okay.
exactly as the idea behind this week is making caring visible, because I seem to be the only one through the academy that is bringing family carers to the forefront, but all the ideas and businesses that are coming through the academy is about helping people in some way, or
Okay.
changing something to do with people and social problems that they would have. So the amount of people, sometimes you kind of sit back and you kind of go, do you know, no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
But to see all these, I was on a webinar, a Zoom call with about 150 social entrepreneurs last week, and all of them want to change the world.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
isn't
and
that
it's
great?
just to see that, you know what I mean, that, you know what, there are people out there willing to do something about things.
And tell us, there's another step to this. Is it you may be chosen to go to the next level, or when will you find
Yes.
out that?
So, and fingers crossed, the next level will be again. I think we've gone from 270 to 50, and then it'll be brought to 30, and then to 15.
Oh my
So I'm
gosh.
down into the 50. I know. Tell me about it. But you know, like I said, what I've learned, even just in the last few steps of, like I said, me having to define, well, what is jobs for family carers? What is the next step? Who am I even to deliver it? So I've learned so much even up until now. Fingers crossed I get onto the next step. But if I don't, it has given me the tools and the pieces of the jigsaw to actually bring it to the next step myself if needs be.
Well done, well done. And tell me, what do your wider family, your friends, your neighbours, your community think about this, or is it all very quiet still, or have you? I see
Um,
you had some media coverage, I think, in the past. I'm looking at your blog.
and
Um,
do you know what exactly? We've talked about it ourselves before. Is that sometimes you have to put yourself out there when it comes to media. Like my family know what I do when it comes to being a family carer. My family have to step in, and again, family carers know exactly what it's like. My parents and my brothers and things like that have to step in and help do school collections when I have appointments in Dublin, and so they know what I do when it comes to caring side of things and the family care side, but they actually don't know, I suppose, what the challenges the family care meets when it comes to having to deal with social welfare or deal with employment, all those things. They see me coming in with bags of medication from the chemist and things like that, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
and
Um,
at the moment, are you living it, as it were, in terms of working 15 or 20, 18 hours a week, or?
I'm actually glad to say that 15 hours that I heard on the radio a year ago,
Yeah,
I actually got.
yeah,
So it's through that I'm kind of going, do you know what? I got a 15-hour job.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
able to, so it worked out brilliant for me. And that's what, to empower other family carers to know that, you know what, you can do it too. Now it does take help, it does take flexibility, but it's not, as I said, it's not just about the income. It's about getting out and meeting a whole new ream of people. Like I said, going for lunch together, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's not just about the money in the pocket. For a lot of us, the money in the pocket helps,
Sure.
because, like I said,
And
it's
the income disregard, remind us, is it? depending on your family situation, but it can be, is it €350 or something you can earn before you lose the carers allowance? It
It,
varies
it,
but it's in and around
exactly.
that. Is
So
that correct?
if you're in if you're in a relationship, I think it's
Yeah.
662,
Okay.
and then if you're single, it's a lower amount then again.
Yeah.
But then you have there's tax allowances that you can get, so you can get
Okay.
so different credits that might
Okay.
be able to knock off tax wise. But all the, and again, the citizens information website has it all. And that
Yes.
said, I always direct, anytime I get messages from people through the Facebook page, I'm sending them links, because it is very self-explanatory when it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you can nearly, and even to ring citizens information. What I love about ringing citizens information is that actually the calls are recorded,
Yeah.
so their information has to be right when
Yeah. Yeah.
their
Yeah.
calls are
The
recorded.
quality
So
is good generally. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
definitely pick up the phone and ask them. They're sick of me asking questions. I'm asking questions the whole time, but definitely it's citizens information for information there when it comes to your different limits and things like that.
Brilliant. And I think in UCD they're doing some primary research looking at carers, how carers juggle work and caring. I don't know if you've hooked up with them in UCD, but if you haven't, it'd be something worth doing. I know they're looking at
Excellent.
that relationship and how people sustain work or have to give up work or go and reduced hours or return to the workplace and all those. And it's not for everyone. We appreciate a lot of carers, perhaps they're of a certain age where they won't be going back into the paid workforce. But the evidence is the majority of carers are under 65. There's a kind of a cohort in their 40s and
Yeah.
50s, with the biggest concentration of carers. We know that about 40% carers are men, and they tend to, for whatever reason, they tend to stay in the paid workforce. Maybe they provide, on average, less intensive care, but there's still a lot of men carers. I have to make sure people know that. But is there anything else you want to say about the project, or what you've learned in your own role as caring, I suppose, for your son, Niall?
One other thing to mention is just when you're going through the statistics, things like that, is there as well, is I am 100% aware there's family carers that cannot leave the house when it comes to that.
Sure.
They have 24-hour care. So and even for family carers themselves, if they want to have a look at it, I've linked in with, it's another social entrepreneur business called Grow Remote. So
Okay.
again, they're advocating for people to, and especially after what we've been through with COVID, that remote work is becoming more and more prevalent now. So I'm linking in with them for maybe there could be opportunities for carers who have those people who are 24-hour care. They've loved ones at home that they can't leave,
Okay.
but there might be an opportunity for them
To do
there.
some
So I'm
remote
linking
working
with them.
within their home. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But definitely, it's only through my own know-how of being a carer and the flexibility that you need, but the commitment you need then as well. But at the same time, that need for you being you, and the need for knowing yourself and not forgetting yourself sometimes, because sometimes people probably want to hate me for saying this, is that you become carer only when you are wife and friend and sister and mammy.
Yes.
So sometimes having a job, you get yourself back a bit. We're all doing fantastic work. I said the government and the HSC and Ireland don't even realise what goes on behind closed doors, and it's for family carers to know that they can put all that into practice, whether it be through a CV or Anthem, because they have it all. You don't need a degree, because you're doing it every single day in your job as care anyway.
Absolutely. Remind me again the website, and the Twitter handle and the Facebook page, if you want to call out them again.
So it's jobsforfamilycarers.ie. As you said, it says exactly what it says on the tin. Facebook page is Jobs for Family Carers, and Twitter is @jobsforfcs.
Very good. Okay, well, listen, thanks a million, Fiona. It's been lovely talking to you in person, and really look forward to seeing your idea, your concept, your business flourish into the future.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Okay.